Hey everybody, Rudy here from the Home Improvement Channel with another video to help you fix things around the house. Today I'm going to show you the fastest way I have found to put knobs such as this or pull hardware such as this on your cabinet doors or drawers. The way I'm going to show you will work either way. I'm going to show you both ways because I'm going to be putting knobs on the doors and these pull handles on the drawers. Okay, let's dive right in, shall we? Alright guys, welcome back. The easiest way I have found on this is to get yourself a template. You can get these from Home Depot or Lowe's. This one fits the cabinet doors. It's got this edge around it like this so that it'll rest comfortably on the side of the door, and this one here works for the drawers. Notice the spacing on these two. It's made for 2.5, 3, or 4, and then if you flip it around it'll work for a 96 millimeter or 128 millimeter knob. I've noticed that a lot of these holes, the heights of the holes don't necessarily work where you want the handle to be in the center of the drawer. So I've had to drill some of my own holes in here. Just as long as you keep it lined up in the line, that's fine, you can do that. I've had to do the same thing on this. Some of the holes just weren't going to work. They weren't in the center. So you make your own hole in there and then it'll still work fine, just as long as you use the same hole all the way around. Alright, let me show you what I usually do. Just rest the template there, and I have drilled a hole myself right here. So just kind of take a small drill bit and spin it a few times to make a mark, and then flip it over and do the same thing on the other door. Just like that. Just make sure you use the same hole on both. That way the mark winds up right in the center and it's in the same spot. Also, you might have to go through and align your hinges so that these are straight all the way across. I've seen the drawers are all up and down and up and down, and if the knob is in the same place, it's going to appear to be wrong if the doors aren't lined up correctly, okay? And just drill it. It's a good idea if you're doing upper cabinets, make sure you take any food away that might be underneath the cabinet. That way the shavings don't fall in the food. And also make sure you pull the door away a little bit from the cabinet so that when the drill bit goes through, it doesn't wind up going into your cabinet. And of course, I don't have to tell you not to put your hand behind here while you're drilling that, because you're going to have a whole lot of sadness if you do. Hold the drill bit as straight as you can get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Let's do the other one. That one went through a lot easier. And just clean the rest of that off of there. Now these screws, a lot of times, are going to be too long. See that? I don't know if you can see it, but it's way too long. It's sticking out quite a bit. So what I usually do, easy as pie, get yourself one of these wire stripper crimper cutters with these holes in the bottom. These are for cutting screws. It works great. This is an 832 screw, so thread a little bit into the 832. Because you're going to run into this a lot where your screws are just too long. And this doesn't have to be exact. Just take a guess at how long it needs to be and then squeeze it. That's it. Cuts the screw, unthreads it back out. Does a nice job. And that looks about perfect. There we go. Being stubborn. And my other screw is already cut, so I'm just going to go ahead and thread that one on. Alright. And there's one other thing I can recommend that's kind of optional. You can get some of these bumpers right here to put behind the cabinet, because this screw sticks out a little bit right here. And if you put a bumper back there, it'll kind of keep it from hitting the cabinet and scratching the cabinet. So I recommend that. Yeah, just stick that guy back there, right on the corner. There we go. And it makes it close a little nicer too. Most cabinets already have these, but these don't have them. There we go. Nice soft close. Alright, let me show you how to do the drawer. Alright, I'm going to show you how to put the drawers on real quick. I'm going to use this style of template right here, and I'm going to be using the 3-inch holes, which are these here, right here. As you can see, I've already drilled them out with some other work that I was doing. But in this case, the factory holes are going to work. I've already checked it. Right here, we're going to use these bottom holes. We've got 7 inches inside this square pattern, and I want my handles to be right in the middle. And I've checked these. These are right around 3.5. I think they're a 16th off, but you know what? Who cares? So these handles that I'm using are a little bit crazy. They're 3-inch pattern, or they're 2 3/4 pattern. So using this to center the handle is going to be a little bit difficult, because we've got a hole here and a hole here. This is the 2 3/4, and of course my template doesn't have a 2 3/4 set of holes, so I got to use the 3-inch holes. As you can see, this 3-inch hole is not in the same place as this one. So the only way to make it center is I have to mark the 3-inch holes and then move it back 1/8 of an inch one way or the other, because otherwise the handle won't be in the center. So if you run into that, that's the solution. We've got a 1/4 inch difference between these two holes, so just offset your pattern by 1/8 of an inch, and that should make it center when it's over. So what we're going to do is center this. There's 3 1/4, and there's 3 1/4 on that side. So we're going to move it back to 3 1/8. Now, if you're dealing with handles that just have the 3-inch holes, you won't have to go through this. You'll just use it in the center. Okay, just want you to know that. The only reason I'm moving it back is because of these holes. Let's check it again. Yeah, 3 1/8. So I've already established that my bottom holes are going to work. Just kind of take that drill bit and mark it. Right there, right there. Alright, we're marked. One other thing I wanted you to know. In a lot of cases I've run into, this drawer is too big, it's too thick. Either the screw is going to be too short or it's going to be too long. Well, it's going to be too long, too short most of the time, because in the back of the drawer has usually got a thicker thing than this does. I'm not going to show you the inside here, but this drawer doesn't have, a lot of times there's 2 screws back here that you can use to remove the drawer face, and then what you do is you use the short screws on the drawer face, and you drill a hole on the inside there to enlarge it, so that the head of the screw will fit on the back of this, and then it won't interfere with the inside of the drawer. I hope that makes sense. That way when you put it back together, it's going to sit flat again. So you use the 832 hole to make it for the threads, and then you use maybe a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch drill bit just to make a little dent in there so that this can sit down inside of. In this case, these drawer faces don't come off, but luckily the screws are the right length and they'll go through the whole thing, so it doesn't matter. It's a moot point. But I just wanted to mention that because a lot of times you're going to run into that problem that I just said. Alright, and more than likely these screws are too long, so I'm going to have to cut them too. See, way too long. And that's all there is to it, right in the center. And just for kicks and giggles, we'll check my my centering method there. It's almost 3 right there. Oh my God. We gotta flip the handle. There we go, nice and tight. We'll check our centering here. And we got a close to 2 3/4, 2 5/8 on that side. And it's about the same right there. So that's right in the center. Alright guys, that's all there is to it. I hope this video has been helpful. Click on that like button if you liked it and subscribe to my channel. I come out with videos like this as often as I can. Thanks for watching.